On my website, there's an article called The Pendulum of Awareness. Yeah? And if you seek out the Pendulum of Awareness, there are 7 simple steps that you can practice, one for each day, yeah? That bring these forces into harmony with each other.
Just take us through the 7 steps real quick.
Sure. So very simply, the first step is to realize that my primary responsibility is to care for myself. If I don't care for myself, I can't care for anybody else. But when you realize that caring for yourself is body, soul, and spirit, yeah, you realize that just eating and relaxing isn't enough. Yeah, you have to care for your soul. You have to take in cultural activity, social activity as well. Yeah, and you have to care for your spirit. You have to take in spiritual activity, whether that's reading or learning about wonderful things, or whether it's meditating or whatever. So, and then just in caring for ourselves, we have to bring care for body, soul, and spirit into harmony with each other. So the first principle is care for yourself, body, soul, and spirit. Yeah? And the second principle, in order to bring that one into harmony with the world, is how does the world look? Take an interest in how does the world look through another person's eyes. Yeah? So this might be just a person at the checkout, or it might be the person on the other end of the Zoom call, or it might be somebody who's written you an insulting comment on social media. Yeah? So how does the world look through their eyes? And the world, of course, is predicated on what they think themselves to be. So how do they look through their own eyes? Yeah. So to take an interest in that is the second principle. Yeah. The third principle, coming back closer to the self, is my own experience is true. Yeah. So when you accept that my own experience is true, you recognize that you are the center of the created world, because you're creating the world. Yeah? You're the center of your world, particularly. You're the center. Nothing happens in your world that you don't have an influence on in one way or another. Yeah. So when I accept that my own experience is true, I begin to stand upright in myself, but I potentially also come into conflict with other people. Yeah? So I have to learn to relativize that while staying with the principle. And the relativization of that comes in the next principle, the fourth principle, which is I don't lean out too far from myself. I remain upright inside myself. Yeah. So if my own experience is true, leads me into conflict with other people, then I'm leaning forward too much. Yeah. If trying to maintain my own experience is true makes me afraid of other people, no, don't talk to me because you might spoil my relationship with my own experience, then I'm leaning back too much. Yeah. So I have to be upright in myself, not vacillating, not being aggressive, or even too loving, and nor being, too objective, too cool, or afraid. Yeah? So standing upright in yourself is the fourth principle. The fifth principle is this: to bring your decisions and your actions into harmony with each other. That's what we were talking about a minute ago. Yeah. So you have to look at your decision making. Are my decisions actually actionable? Or are they in dreamland? Yeah. And are my actions in relationship with what I actually want to do? Or are they me just pretending that, so the relationship between decision and action. The sixth principle is to find gratitude for everything. And it's easy to be grateful for the sunlight that's shining through my windows right now. It's easy to be grateful for the food that I get from my meals. Is it easy to be grateful for the fact that I have to go to work to earn a living? Where can I find gratitude for things that I have to do? Or even worse, where can I find gratitude for things that shock me, that come up against me? Yeah. And there's a shocking experience I won't go into the detail of in the last 6 months in my life that is playing out in very powerful ways. It's been immensely strengthening for me to work with the fact that a small group of people has decided that I'm the monster. Yeah, and they're acting on this decision that I'm the monster. We were, as I say, but wow. It's really made me more willing to say, no, my own experience is true. I am not the monster. The things that you feel that I'm responsible for lie in your own relationship with your own thoughts and feelings. Yeah, I didn't. So anyway, the gratitude for everything that comes towards us, good and struggle. And then the seventh principle is to bring these other 6 principles into harmony with each other. Yeah. And for that, you need forgiveness. You need to be able to say, yes, you know, I wasn't considerate enough about somebody else, or, you know, I didn't look after my own spiritual health. I looked after my physical or my social health. You know, I had a great social experience, but I got pissed out of my fucking mind. And the next 3 days, I wasn't thinking clearly, you know, whatever it is, you know. So just acknowledge, how did I do? And offer up in forgiveness. And then also you become a softer person if you're more forgiving of other people. So these 7 principles are profoundly transformative, and yet they're so simple, and yet of course they're not easy, because they're profoundly transformative.